active for the good of our nation. You are listening to Hotline on Radio Jamaica 94 FM. And it's Hotline where truth comes to live, lies come to die. You know, another feature that we have that I'm a big fan of is grow your business. And because they, you know, when you're talking about economic growth, when you're talking about getting a country moving forward, you want forward backward linkages, you want micro, small and medium enterprises. 90% of global economic growth, even in metropolitan countries, is generated from MSMEs. Believe it or not, it might surprise you. The small enterprises. Colin Porter, who's a manager for the Technical Services Department at the Jbdc's Incubator and Resource Center, is here with us, as well as Martello Melville, Jaire Herbal Limited. That one is interesting. Greetings, gentle people. How are you? Welcome to Hotline.
Greetings and salutations, Dr. T. Good to be here again.
Yes, I. Wagwan.
Holy Pagwan, you know?
Yes, man. Yeah, man. Well, all right. But put on my seatbelt, be in the schoolroom. Talk to me.
Yes, so today we're going to talk about beverages. A topic which is in the news a lot these days for multiple reasons. You know, whole heap of sweetness and not so sweet, really. But we want to highlight the fact that we have lots of MSMEs, including persons like Mr. Melville, who is here with us, who have been doing a lot and spotting certain opportunities in the beverage industry and pretty much trying to capitalize on it. So quite a bit going on in that arena.
Okay, all right. So give me some schooling now. Tell me what's going on. I see that the Jbdc is urging, you know, beverage production beyond the kitchen. I see some ones popping up. There's one of them. I can't say what its name is, but I have one of them in my kitchen right now. It's a very amusing name. Right.
Okay.
Can't tell you the name. No. I think that. I think that you might have your finger on the pulse of it, though. But go ahead, tell us. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I just feel there are quite a bit of opportunities we're seeing, and of course when you talk about beverage, it's a wide spectrum. But we are seeing a shift towards beverages focused on health and wellness, right? A lot of what we call functional beverages. So it's not just to quench a thirst, but to provide some kind of benefit. We have herbal tonics, fermented products, and others leaning strongly on plant-based input. I may say plant-based beverage, but that is a standard thing. But with a plethora of artificial ingredients and flavors and what have you, the move towards going back to natural input is something that we see a lot of opportunities for, because persons know, generally speaking, with food, Dr. Taylor, Orville, people want to align with your modern lifestyle and your dietary preferences now. So we're seeing beverages moving in that direction. So we at Jbdc just want to encourage persons that you can explore that. We have our team here who can assist with developing your beverage product. We know a lot of SMEs as well also start out in their kitchen, right? But once you go in commercial, obviously your kitchen-based operation will reach its limit pretty easily, you know. So we're here to support in that area as well. So it's a transition to a more commercial scale production.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man, go ahead, man.
Sorry, good morning all. This is Martello Melville, and may I also add to that, Mr. Porter, the good manufacturing practices adherence, which is very important, and that is key.
Correct. Yes. Very much so, Martello. Thanks for that. Because, and for you to adhere to the good manufacturing practices, you need to be in a commercial space. Now, just to break it down in simple terms, a lot of MSMEs start out in their kitchen. You come with a good formulation and you have your utensils. But home-based production, as you know, is very difficult for you to adhere to certain standards in terms of sanitation, hygiene, etc. Not that your kitchen is dirty, but it's the same space you're using to prepare food for your family, which is not allowed for commercial production, right? And food safety and the risk of contamination. So we want to assist persons to transition away from the kitchen so that that focus on food safety, on proper packaging, on production standards, on scaling can be realized.
Right. But in addition to that, certification is also very important because once you get into the commercial space, and for Jamaica also, and if you're looking to pivot internationally, then you're going to come across, you go cross border, and you're going to be assessed by whether FDA or customs and so on. So there will be some kind of interrogation if you don't have these certification and you're not adhering to these practices.
Yes,
it's very important, and so I would encourage everybody to to get on board with that or in commercial production.
So follow me here. Let me follow you here. Now, many businesses though start at home and they don't necessarily have the capacity to expand until much later on. So I understand some immediate dangers. So a kitchen is a place where you prepare meals, and meals will include some of the things that you don't necessarily want to have in your juices. So so right now you are producing, especially where you are a vegan, totally vegan enterprise, right? And you are producing, so therefore juices, green juices, orange juices, all kinds of natural juices, etc. That's fine. But there is a kitchen and you have a cutting board, and the cutting board, they use it for cut up your fish, and you use it for cut up your pork fire, or something like that. Okay, right. Because now if pork cooked in my house, a different something, I think, whatever. Yeah, even though I don't, good. I'm saying though.
Far from it.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't have a problem, except though that I don't want the pork being cooked right beside my fish. Plain and simple, right? Neither, wait. I'm also very mindful of when I am making, vegetable-based smoothies. I don't do milk, right? That it is not in the same space where there is the smoothie made with a yogurt base. I don't do milk, period. Right. So that is difficult, I'd imagine, Martello, as well as to manage in that place. So, but you still have to do it because you don't have the capacity yet to go bigger. So help us. How do you get that kind of help to move forward?
If I can just give you some simple advice in that regard. And yes, we recognize that the home-based production is something, and you have to start there. So, and you already dropped some hints of it. All your utensils, all your preparation equipment, your production equipment should be separate for commercial production from what it is that you use at home. So even with cutting boards, and in your own personal practice, you have a separate cutting board for your fish, a separate one for pork, and a separate one for vegetables. That vegetable one that you use for home should not be used to prepare the vegetables you're doing for production. So you want to have your separate blender, your separate food processor, if possible in the kitchen, a totally separate area where you do home food preparation dedicated to your production, right? And you observe, Marcelo earlier mentioned GMPs, things like make sure that you properly rinse, wash, and sanitize with the appropriate solutions, all your utensils, all your containers, etc. Right? If possible, you can get a second sink in the kitchen or somewhere in the home to do that. You don't want to wash up in the same sink where you're washing up your dinner plate and all that type of thing. So these are some basic
Right.
Good manufacturing.
So I understand the challenge. Just a second, Martello. I understand the challenges. So what I want now is how you help. How do you help the small business? I suppose to move forward to fulfill these things, these objectives.
Right. Right. That's where. Sorry.
Go ahead, Marcello.
That's where I come in from my experience, Dr. Arvey, because I think one of the concerns you have also is probably thinking about how much it's going to cost and all of that. So Judge Iris started out just the same way you explained. We started, at home, and we expanded. We formulate over 30 products for non-communicable diseases, and so we know that we could not continue at home. We have to go to a commercial space, and so Jbdc does with its incubator processing plant provide that environment, which is very cost friendly. I would say it's very inexpensive in my opinion. It's very equitable. It's not strenuous where you are not able to do that. Furthermore, they provide the equipment and so on for you to use. So it's not,
okay.
Yes, it's not a challenge. It's not difficult, and I would say it's cost friendly in my opinion.
Yeah.
And this is why the Jerry does try to give back in terms of its product cost and not increase.
You know what? I know we're right at the end, but I want a little bit more out of you. I'm gonna take this message, and I'm coming right back. Don't go anywhere. I want another minute with you.
Sure.
So I've Colin Porter, who's a manager from the Technical Services Department at the Jbdc, and he has Martella Melville, who is the CEO of Jajira Herbal Limited. Now, that's a micro, small, and medium enterprise that has benefited from interventions by the Jbdc. So the Jbdc has given some good assistance that has helped him to move the business forward. So what I was missing was the level of assistance. So Earwood, finish telling me about it, Martello.
Yes. Well, for any small business, moving from your own kitchen to the commercial space, you have steps to take, and you have to take these into consideration if you're going to be competing locally or internationally, because you have to standardize your product, right? So that you can have consistency across the board for your product, whether it's 1 or 30 like ours. You have to have that level of consistency. So all the time, you're getting the same results. Like us, for example, before you came on, I was listening to a testimonial from someone out of Miami, Florida, with a rare disease that he had, and he sent us a testimonial in 1 week. And that is because we are consistent with our product across the board. Prior to him, there's another customer client in Cayman with the same type of results. So you have to, when you approach Jbdc, they have the technical assistance and support, people there who can help with the standardization of your formulation, right? Because, I know, I thought I had everything right, but then when I, went to Jbdc, I realized I needed support, because as right as I thought I had it, I was not 100% right. So with that support, I'm now able to consistently make batches of our products at various times. And because when you're there in that space, you have to do testing, like brick testing and pH testing of your products, and so on. So it's very important to do that, and that's a first step that you actually need to make. Because,
Gotcha.
Because you also have to encounter other entities, organizations that will accredit you, certify you, or approve you, right? Like the Bureau of Standards.
And Jbdc have them finger on the pulse of that. Everything.
They do
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, man. That's a statement, actually, by the way, not a question. Yeah, come. You don't know. We've been paying attention to another over the years.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
And of course, they will direct you to the various organizations and so on.
Yes.
So it's a very important first step to make. It has helped us. And then, in addition to that, as a business person, because that is outsourcing production, really. But also as a business person, you have to look at cost, which is very, very important. And as I keep hammering it earlier, the kind of cost involved or charges will allow you to be able to compete or better compete, whether locally or international, because it helps to that cost is so relatively cheap. I would say, it really helps for you to manage your costing, so your product can be competitive, and that is also very important. It is one of the reasons why we're able. People tell us all the time that our products are cheap for what they're able to do, and part of the reason I always say is because of the benefits that we derive from entities like Jbdc, and whether through development bank where we get some support. So it helps us to be able to maintain price so that Jamaican people can benefit. We give back, we give in return, right? So it's very important. It's a key driver, I would say, and a first step that every manufacturer in Jamaica should take.
All right, bro. All right, got you. Very excited about this, as always, as we try to grow a business. So we can find more information. We can contact you directly. How do we find Jbdc? I know you're all over the country.
Yeah, we're all over the country in several parishes. But the easiest way to find out where we are in more detail is to visit our website, which is at www.jbdc.net. We have locations. Our head office is in Kingston, 14 Camp Road. Our incubator resource center, where the incubator is at 76 Marcus Garvey Drive. But if you visit jbdc.net, all our telephone numbers, contact emails, and various locations island-wide are listed on the website.
Gotcha.
And
thank you.
We're on social media. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, Twitter. The major platform.
Gotcha. Going to run. Thank you very much. So I just know you just go say boom and put in Google Jbdc, because it's Jamaica. It's the first hit. The first page is Jamaica Business Development Corporation, and everything else will pop up. Walk good, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Don't walk too far.